And we are live, as I stated, today from Houston, Texas. I am here with a very special student who is going to be a part of today's lesson. Yesterday, we had the privilege of speaking with two of our students. In fact, they're back today for this second lesson that we are going to give way to. And yesterday, we touched upon cPanel. I felt that if we didn't address cPanel as a main course, or at least a starting point, that we would be pretty lost. So today we're going to go on and move on to the next lesson. But before I do that, I just want to allow Manuel to say hello to us. Manuel, say hello to everybody viewing.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Christina. I see that you have just arrived.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Very good. We were missing you.
Oh, I'm here now.
Very good. Very welcome, Orlando. Thank you for having us in this training.
We enjoy it, and as I stated before yesterday, one of the things that I like to do initially when I get started with a live broadcast is share it. So I'm gonna go to my Facebook page. Anytime you guys do a live broadcast, always try to share it, because it's gonna spread the word a little more for your audience. And so for me, today I'm just gonna share it on my personal homepage, because it's the most relevant place that I can think of that people might be interested in just knowing or finding out what it is that we're doing. So I'm gonna do that right now. Share it now, and I have shared it on my personal homepage. Okay, guys. Now we talked about cPanel yesterday, and I don't want to talk about cPanel just yet, because I want to go ahead and move forward to the next lesson. And this next lesson is going to be the complement of cPanel. Now, we all know that an interface, a graphical interface like cPanel, is useless unless people understand what you can do with it. So, in getting to that point, there is another powerful platform out there that most of the world is using right now. If not most, a good portion of the world is using, and that is WordPress. Now, the first question that I will ask you guys is, have you heard of WordPress, and what can you tell me about it?
I haven't heard it yesterday.
So yesterday was the first time you heard about WordPress.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Manuel, what about yourself?
Well, I have heard about WordPress since a lot of time, and it is a CMS, content managing system, and well, it's good for the initiation of something or creating a lot of web pages, but it has, for me, for what I want to do, limitations. But it is a very professional and powerful tool, especially for beginners.
So it's a powerful tools for beginners. So have you used it? Is that something that you have maybe created a website on?
I try it, but I was not happy with the results.
So you tried
Maybe,
it and you were not happy with the results, correct?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So one of the things that you're going to face when interviewing with most web hosting companies is the fact that they are going to ask you if you have heard of or worked with WordPress.
Yeah.
And for most people, that's not the case. Most people haven't been successful with it, they haven't worked with it, they don't know much about it. And so they're afraid of it. That's the word that I will say, they're afraid of. Now, the problem is not too much whether you have worked with WordPress or not. Is To me, that's not the problem. To me, the problem is why would people even want to create a website to begin with? Because if you start thinking about the reason your customer is interacting with you in the support level, you got to think about this. They most likely are really good at what they do. If they're let's say they're a dancer, right? They dance professionally for a theater, or they're an artist, or they're a cook. You know, somebody that owns a restaurant or is a cook a lot of times work 12 to 14 hours a day. These people are not lazy. They are very proficient, very dedicated, and they know what they're doing. They're hardworking people. Now, what is the one thing that you know about people that are leaders in their industry? What would you say is the one thing that you know about these people? Manuel, what would you say?
Well, it's people that is focused in reaching their goals and work for them, and they're professionals and they're dedicated, and they learn about their fields to accomplish their goal, and they succeed, you know.
Exactly. And Christina, what are your thoughts?
I can't say it any better than him. I was gonna say focused. They're very focused on what they want.
They're very focused at what they do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you blame them if they don't know anything about creating a website?
No.
No.
I wouldn't either. But most tech support forget about that. They forget that customers that are calling in for tech support, they're not really looking to become the next designer, the next website designer. They're not looking to be the next graphic designer. They don't. All they know is that they heard that there's something called the interweb somewhere out there, and they think to themselves, well, I want to be a part of that interweb thing, and so everybody's saying, let me get my website online, and if I get my website online, some magical thing is gonna happen. So what do? They go out, they purchase this thing called web hosting. They don't know what package they need. All they know is that they heard of something, and so they purchase web hosting, and then they don't know what to do next. See,
It's a little difficult.
it's a little difficult, but why do most people that are successful in other areas feel that they can tackle creating a website on their own?
I find this, like I explained about my sister, for example. My sister is a journalist, and they think that they have all their time busy, and they don't have any time for learning anything else, even if it is easy and convenient learning how or what is involved in creating a website, because it could help them to project better their message and reach their goals. But they are mentally busy. Is what I say. They don't find the time. They say, no, this is very complicated and I have no time. It's the excuse that I have heard from many people.
But Manuel, let me ask you this question: when was the last time you changed your oil in your car?
Well, something like 978 kilometers, because I change it periodically every 5,000
No.
kilometers very
Maybe
religiously.
let me clarify the question. When did you do it? When did you get in under the hood and actually change the oil in your car?
Um, a month ago.
You personally changed the oil in your car?
Yeah, I did it.
You never take it to a specialist to change your oil?
Yes, sometimes I do that, but this time I did it.
But before you'd taken it to the professionals, right? For most people, changing the oil in the car is something that they could do, but they never do themselves.
Yeah.
And for most people, fixing their car, they don't try to do it themselves. They always take it to a professional.
No. And
Even
especially now with the new cars, when you open
The
the,
hood?
the front part of the car, and you find that there is no motor, that there is all something else. It's impossible. Yes, you are right.
So the point is, if you don't try to do some of the things that are within your reach and you go to a professional to do that, why do most people think that instead of getting a professional to build their websites that does this day in, day out, that's going to do it in half the time, well, in 1/10 of the time at a reasonable amount? Because you start thinking about this. How much do you earn an hour? Most people would say they earn between $10 to $20 an hour, right? Okay. Say it takes you at least to build a website. It's going to take you about 100 hours. This is the consensus. To build a website is going to take people about 100 hours, and most people would say, no, that's not true. No, it is true. The first thing you got to do is learn the platforms. Most people are not familiar with cPanel to begin with, so you got to learn cPanel. Either you're going to spend time researching what cPanel is, how to access it, how to utilize it, and even then, you still have no clue what cPanel is. So then you have to learn how to utilize platforms like WordPress. And that's not a cinch like people might think. That is involved. That it takes some practice. And so when you go to try to, to create websites, it's not as simple as, okay, I'm gonna install, WordPress and everything is done. No.
No.
WordPress is all, I would relate it to, if you're constructing a house, it's like the blueprint for that house in a way. It gives you the instructions, but it's not constructed yet. It's nothing is there. You have to take the actions and actually build the foundation. You have to take the action and build the rest. The blueprints are there, but the rest of the house is not. And so, how long would it take you? How much is, if you estimate 100 hours times $20 an hour, that's about $2,000. So why wouldn't you just pay somebody $200 or $300 to get it done, at a fraction of the cost, at better quality, and you would have something that is going to be beautiful, thought out, and done by somebody that does this every day. So
Yeah.
the first thing that you have to understand, and the reason that I'm saying this, is because you're going to get a lot of people in tech support that are going to call you in regards to their websites. And so the one thing that you have to counter with when it comes to that person calling in is figure out why they're doing it themselves, to begin with. Because most people actually don't know how to do it, and so they mess a lot of things up. And guess what? They cost a lot of support. They call support, and they get mad at support because they didn't build their website. Now, that said, you still have to know how to troubleshoot this WordPress. So we're gonna deal with WordPress today,
Okay.
and we're gonna do it with a real site. I have a website called LittleBurgerBarn.com. That is a company that I own. I just recently franchised it, and so we are in need of a new website. Okay, so I am going to present to you guys via the Hangout, so you can also see it. My website, and I'm gonna switch over to there. Let's see, present to you guys. Okay, here we go. Present to everybody, and now can you guys see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's Google, right? What is one thing that you can tell me about Google?
Well, it's a search engine, but now Google is a monster. It's not. It's many things. It's a research investigation for humanity, and it is begins like a simple search engine,
So,
but it has grown and it has well a lot of people involved, and it is one of the most successful businesses in the world.
Well,
It's,
I was looking for it's free. It's just that it's free. Google is free. And
Okay.
And it's free. It's free. Well, it's free um, in the facade, in the presentation. But if you want to advertise, you need to pay them to have advertising. You know.
but what about if you just want to do search? It's free.
Yeah, for the searching is free. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's free to a degree because if you click on one of the ads on the very top, those are not free. Those are paid ads. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What else? What were you gonna say, Christina?
It's just a huge source of information. That's free. That's correct.
Okay. All right. So let's look at this. Now, are you guys looking at that website that came up?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is Little Bitty Burger Barn. Okay. Um, Now, I'll tell you the truth. We have an ugly looking website. A very ugly looking website. And in this course, we're going to go ahead and rebuild this website. Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
the problem with rebuilding this website is that Little Bitty Burger Barn is indexed pretty well. So we have to be very careful. What does it mean to be indexed?
I'm not sure.
Manuel?
I don't know.
Index means that Google has already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Google has already shown that for some pages you have relevance, and so they index your pages. They do that anyways, but to show you on top searches, that's a good thing for SEO. So what I'm gonna do today is, with the basic lessons that I've shown you, I want you guys to help me start the process of rebuilding this page. Now, what is the first thing that I have to do if I wanted to start from scratch?
Well, analyze it and see what it has, what information it is included, I guess, in order to make a plan of how to optimize or reuse the information, some parts, or include new ones.
I was thinking something more simple, something quick. So the one thing that we
Delete it and new make a new one.
well, if we're gonna make a new one, what do we got to do with the old one?
Well, we need to use the indexing for Google. Then we need to use the same titles and same information of the page of pages for Google. Then the change is just going to be internal.
Okay, that is true. That is true. So let's go ahead and do the following. Okay. The first thing that I'm gonna need to do is access the control panel for this web page.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Well, you need to go to the interface of WordPress through the cPanel.
Okay.
I guess it is. Right?
And we learned how to do that yesterday. How do I do that?
Going to cPanel, then you go to cPanel, log in to cPanel. This is cPanel.com and
No.
with access.
No. I want you guys to go back to our lessons yesterday. If I want to access cPanel, you know, the web page, not cPanel itself, this web page.
Okay, okay.
Little Bitty
Then
Burger Barn's cPanel.
You go to Hangouts. Sorry. littleBTburgerbarn.com colon 2082 if you want an insecure connection, and 2083 if you want a secure connection.
Okay, there you go.
And you
see how it gives me this error.
yes, because it is you didn't enter the password.
Okay, you guys ready to move forward? So the next thing, have you guys seen this before?
No.
Yes?
This is the
I
first time
think
you guys are
I
seeing
have
this?
seen it. You need to enter the password.
Okay, so this is the first time you're seeing this, right?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
No, I have seen it. I have used it also.
So what do you got up here? Look at the address. Can you guys see the address via your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, it's https:// littlebittyburgerbarn.com:2083, right?
83, yeah.
Okay. Would it work if I took the S out and did 82? Would that work as well?
Yes, it's going to work,
Okay.
but it's going to give you a signal that it is not a secure
Yeah,
connection.
in my case, it redirects to that 2083, which is good. That's not a problem. So it does work. What else can I do to access this if I don't want to use the port?
The IP address?
That is correct. I can use the IP address, same syntax and everything, :2080, IP address, :82. Now, how do I get the IP address for this specific website?
We just want to come with a username and the password, because the IP address is a shared IP address. I assume in this case it's not a designated IP address. Then, because it's shared, you go to the IP address numbers and :2082 or 2083, and just with the username and the password, it goes to the site.
Well, actually, if you could actually have a dedicated IP address, especially in the old days, if you had an SSL, you had a dedicated IP address, because SNI, which is something that cPanel came up with, I think about 2 years ago, because of that issue, you couldn't. You could technically, but it wasn't done. Any site that had SSL had to have its own IP address. So that's no longer the case. But in the old days, it used to require your dedicated IP address. So now what we have here is the name. But if I wanted to find the IP address here, you would go into something like a terminal and type in, or do this, get the domain name, and then you do something called ping. So do ping in the ping, and then you would put in the domain name. Let me see if I can share that with you guys there. So you
I know how. What system are you using?
I use Linux, and I also use my Mac. So so those are the two main.
I just use Linux and I use Ubuntu.
So all you do is you put ping, and I'll show you how to do that later on. I'll utilize my screen for that. But all you do is ping, and that will return the IP address. And in this case, my IP address is right here. I'm putting it in 198.57.214.140, and then after the 140 is the :2080.3, because it's S. And then see this error. You know why it's creating that error?
No.
Because I don't have an SSL on there. There you go. And here you go. You're at the same location. Okay, so that's the main thing that I wanted to get out of this. And the other thing that you want to do is you can do https TPS little bitty burger barn barn.com, then /cPanel, and that should also get you there. See? Okay, so that's what we were talking about yesterday. Okay. Now, if you go into an interview and somebody asks you how do you log into cPanel, all you say, well, there's about 4 ways, well, 3 ways that you could do it. Well, 4 ways actually, 4, 5, 6. I mean, you could utilize HTTPS or HTTP, then :// domain name or IP address, colon 2082, 2083, or / cPanel. And they'll be like, okay, you know what you're talking about. Let's go on to the next question.
Yeah.
The point is,
also works cPanel dot and the domain.
that is correct. That is correct. Yeah. So the point is, know what you're talking about. Have that assurance. Know how to get in, and the rest it's a little easier. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get in. You need your username, and then the password. Now, in my case, I don't know if I remember my password, but I don't know if I remember my password. But let me try it.
It happens everywhere. Don't worry.
Let's see.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I guess I do remember my password. All right. So I want to start from scratch. Okay.
You are using an old version of cPanel over there.
I am. I sure am. I am using a very old version of cPanel.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
you could change this, but let's go ahead and stick to this point. If I want to start from scratch, what do I need to do?
Well, you need to go to the softwares, the software availability, and then over there is an icon that it has the WordPress.
Okay, so going to what I taught you guys yesterday, the first thing that I would do, if it's me, and and somebody says, "Look, I want to start from scratch," the first thing that I would say to them, "Okay, that's not a problem. Why don't we start by making a backup? That way, if anything goes wrong and you need to restore, you have your own backup." So that's the first thing that we would do. So how do we do that? The first thing that you do is go into cPanel, and then you can type up here, just put the word back, and there you go, backup in Backup Wizard. Now, let's go to Backup Wizard. And in Backup Wizard is going to give me a few options. The option to restore or the option to backup. We're going to do the backup option, okay? And so click on backup, and you do a full backup, okay? Because it does give you the ability to do a partial backup. As you can see, there is the home directory, there is the MySQL database, bases, email, forwarders, and filters. But today we're doing a full backup.
Yeah.
Because if something goes wrong, I can go back to this backup and restore my complete cPanel content. So I'm gonna leave it at my email address, and let's go ahead and generate a backup. Now, was that easy, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys remember this conversation from yesterday that we needed to make backups and talking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Now you've seen a prime example on how it works. So far we talked about WordPress, but we haven't done anything in regards to WordPress. And that's the one thing that I want to do. The next 30 minutes, I do want to speak about WordPress. Okay. So so in order to do that, I just want us to understand what the benefits for us is going to be in this case, to understand and know how to build a website in WordPress. As I stated before, cPanel is going to be the foundation and our blueprint for the architecture and structure of our files and so on, databases, organizes all the tools. But WordPress is really what we want to utilize to give people the option of building that infrastructure. Because honestly, you could do You can install WordPress just in about any system. It doesn't have to be cPanel, but so knowing the WordPress interface is going to be very crucial. And so what I say, what I typically say is that WordPress and cPanel are like salt and pepper. You know, you just got to have both of them. You know, yeah. So just remember that cPanel is your.
I could say that it is like cement and gravel.
Well, I like that. I like that too. Cement and gravel.
It's a little stronger.
Yeah.
It's more strong. It's a very, very strong base. And then it's so rigid that it was the part that I was not comfortable, but okay, let's learn it. Why not? It's very
cPanel.
good.
So cPanel is what?
I beg your pardon?
cPanel is our what?
Our base?
No, it's our salt.
It's a software. It's a CMS.
Say
It's a,
cPanel is my salt.
your salt. Okay.
Yes, cPanel is our salt, and
Okay.
WordPress is what? Is our pepper.
Okay.
Okay, cPanel is in WordPress is our pepper. Okay.
Okay.
And that's something that I want you guys to just remember. Okay, don't forget it. Salt and pepper, cPanel and WordPress.
Okay.
All right. So we got that down.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll never forget it in your entire life, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well,
Okay, good. All right, so let's start with an easy task. Okay, while that's going on in the background, we are going to we're going to add a WordPress interface through one of our servers. Okay, and for that, I'm going to. I got my own account I'm viewing, and believe it or not, I have an account I'm viewing.
thank you.
I got actually a few accounts
Thank
I'm
you for
viewing.
joining the community.
I got a few accounts, and today we're going to utilize those accounts to install WordPress. Okay? Have you guys ever installed WordPress? Tell me the truth.
No.
I tried to a few days ago. I don't know if I did it right.
Okay.
Well, I installed it not in my computer. I installed it through a server, through a hosting service.
Okay.
But I got like I was frustrated, and but I tried it many years ago, and I haven't touched it since then. You know, I think it has evolved.
I think you're gonna like love it. You're gonna just love it. So
Okay.
that's the point here. All right, so we are now going to do the one thing you haven't done in a few years, and that is installed WordPress. I own a domain name called savedlove.com.
Okay.
Pull it up for me on your browser. Go to your browser, put savedlove.com. Saved, SAVED, love.com. Save love.
Okay.
Save.
Love.
I hope that's correct. SAV like Victor, ED like David, LOV like Victor, E.com.
That is correct.
I did the same. It says server not found.
Exactly. That's good.
Oh.
So
Thank you very much.
that means that we are in a phase where the server is not found. That means that there's something wrong, right?
Yeah.
Well, our server is down, or your website is down, or you are maybe just in it for weird dog purposes. Sorry.
So the first thing that you're doing is, okay, you want to start a website, right? And you get this weird error that says, in my case, I'll share the screen with you guys now, and See where it says the site can't be reached?
Uh-huh.
Is that what you guys are getting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, similar because I am using Firefox.
Okay.
Same
Cool.
with Firefox.
Okay. Perfect. So, what would you do? What was the first thing you would do if that came up, that error came up? What would you do?
Check my internet.
Well, to go to Google and try to write save love, and then if it is something there, that it more or less give me an idea if the website has been indexed, and then from there try to find.
Well, why don't we do something a little quicker? Okay. I know that this specific account is on one of the servers. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's one
Trying to
on
reach
one
the
of.
IP address.
So what we're gonna do is the following. Okay. So it is on our Miami server. Now,
Uh-huh.
since it's on our Miami server, we know that the name servers for Miami is miami1.vun.com and miami2.vun.com. So go to whois.domaintools.com, and in there just enter the domain name saved love and search for it. And let's see. So I registered this domain name at GoDaddy. I created this in 2013. And the name servers are ns1.vun.com, ns2.vun.com. What does that tell you?
But they are in a server there. They are hosted. They have an account.
No, I just said they're on Miami.
Uh-huh.
Miami is its own server. So essentially, for example, you have your street where you live, right? It's let's say it's Black Hawk. Let's say the name of your street is Black Hawk. At Black Hawk, you got different addresses. Okay, you got 1282, 1283, right? Okay, so in this case, this IP address or this specific name server is pointing to, let's say, 3000. Yet you actually live in 1000. You know, so the server is looking for anything on 3000, but if you're not there, then it's not relating. So that's what's happening here. It is pointing to something called viewing, but it's not pointing to the right viewing account. It's pointing to the wrong server. For example, we have different servers here of viewing. We got Chicago, we have Miami, we have Pune, we have London. We have different servers. If you're on London and your name servers are pointing to Miami, then you're not going to receive any information. And that's what's happening here. That's why you're seeing this. And I wanted to show you guys this because tomorrow we're actually going to update name servers so we can actually see this. But today, before we do that, I want to install WordPress. Now, installing WordPress is not complicated these days. There's two ways of doing it: manually, or you can do it automatically.
With a wizard.
Yes, most web hosting companies have some automated tool that they have implemented, and so do we. We have the same thing. So what you want to do is look for which tool we have to install WordPress. Now, but before I do that, what is the one thing that I want to do right now? Remember what we started doing a moment ago?
Yeah, you just type W and in the field W for WordPress, and it is going to go to.
No, we started back. We started backing up.
Okay.
Little bitty burger bar. So why don't we go back and check to see if that's ready?
Okay.
And what do you see there?
The file.
The file.
Yeah.
It means it's ready. How can you download this file to your computer?
Just click on it or just save it.
Let's see. There you go. By clicking on it, it started saving. See in the corner, the bottom corner?
Yeah.
It's actually saving it. And so now I have a local copy of Little Bitty Burger Barn on my computer.
Okay.
So now you have backed up a file and you have downloaded a file. Two things. Now that we've done that, let's get back to Save Love. Save Love, we want to install WordPress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to show you guys something. Remember we talked about File Manager yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me click in here, and that way you guys see what's in there. Moment of truth, what's in here? What do you see in here?
Nothing.
Nothing, right?
No. No, but just a folder of CGI bin.
Yeah.
But
These are all the root folders that compile and make things work. You know, you have your public folder, FTP folder, mail folder, logs, etc. But I just wanted to show you how it looks before you install anything. See that?
yeah.
Okay. Now let's get back to installing WordPress. Now, we actually today I was telling I was talking about some of the things that we did here at Viewin. We're actually looking into doing some automated backups, and so I was talking to Manuel and I said, right now our system is doing automated backups for free off our servers and so on. So that's gonna be something cool where you can restore based on the changes in your logs and so on. But let's go ahead and move forward, and let's go ahead and look at what system we have in here that will allow us to install WordPress. Oh, check this out. I don't know how to say this, to be honest with you guys. I'll give it my best. I used to say Softaculous, but it's not Softaculous. It's Softaculous or something like that. Softaculous or something like that. You know French, Manuel. How do you say this?
Softaculous.
Softaculous,
Softaculous.
right?
Softaculous, yeah.
Softaculous. I don't know what's a Softaculous means. But
It's just a made up name. It was like a software, and they made up that name to use it, and then, but I don't know why, where it is coming from. I can try to find what it means.
Softaculous. Okay, so we got Softaculous in here, and I'm probably butchering it. I don't care. It's not the point. But here we have a lot of apps that you can install. For example, you can do WordPress, Joomla, PrestaShop. I love PrestaShop, Drupal 7, and a bunch of other stuff. But we're gonna do WordPress today, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you just click on WordPress.
Yep.
And all right, so it looks like it shows you what version is running, and I think that this is 3.6. They use a different standard for dates, but anyhow, what we're gonna do here is click install now.
Mm-hmm. Softaculous is the competition of Fantastico.
Yes.
Fantastico, it was the first version of that. It was providing like an accumulation of software to install to the server, and then it appears this Softaculous like a competition, and it is like Spartacus or something. They wanted to be the competition of Fantastico.
and they're doing a heck of a job because I'll tell you what, I've used both of them, and I like this one a little better. All right, so here, this is where it's gonna get a little tricky, okay? And I want you guys to pay very close attention, okay? If you want to install this on the main domain, for example, when you go into your account and you put in savelove.com, if you want WordPress to come up there, then you gotta make sure that you remove the WP from in the directory. Leave that blank, okay? So if you want it, but if you want it for this to come up at a different directory, for example, savelove.com / whatever you want. It could be like winning or losing, whatever you want, whatever, you know,
like a subfolder.
whatever subfolder you want it to be, just name it, name the folder, and it will come up under that folder, okay? So, and I'll teach you guys a little bit about that later on, but for right now, let's put it on the main domain name, which is Save Love. And so I deleted in directory. And so now here we can do the name of the site, and then your description, whatever you want to put, love, and
Wow.
and then you and then you choose an admin username to get into your control panel where you're gonna, or your dashboard where you're gonna make modification inside of a WordPress. So you want to choose something different.
Orlando.
Let's use view and you.
No, Orlando.
Well, it's too simple. It's too easy. View and you, okay? And password, I'm gonna hide it. There you go. And I'm gonna come up with a password for this. See how it's showing me how strong it is? So I just came up with a password that is so strong that it's crazy, okay? And then your admin email. Make sure that this is an email that you actually have access to, okay? For us, it's gonna be one at vun.com, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you have to do to install it. They give you other options like installing these themes and all that, but I wouldn't go there yet. I would just go ahead and install this. And then you can put email installation details too here. I'll put one at vun.com and then install. Now check this out. It says checking the submitted data. This is taking longer than usual, to be honest with you guys. Typically, this would be installed in a matter of seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, but for some reason, it's taking a little longer. But it looks like it was installed. And it gives you some information here. The information that it gives you basically is that we have installed it on our main domain, and how do you access the administrator backend, which is the dashboard, and to do that you do wp-admin and so on. So that is how you install WordPress. Now, is that pretty easy?
Yeah.
And that's the point. That's the one point that I want to make for you guys, is that getting to know systems is about investing time. And most people don't do that. They don't want to invest time, not because they don't want to. It's just they're busy doing the thing that makes them money. And for most people, websites don't make them money. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
But for most people, that they want websites to make them money. And so you got a catch-22 situation there. It's a very complicated situation, but at the same time, it's something that they have to we would have to kind of work on. So that those are the main details for WordPress that I wanted to cover today. I want to do a quick review in the next 5 minutes. Tell me specifically what you have learned today from our procedures.
We learned how to install WordPress as well as logging in as the admin and your password, logging into the cPanel to that domain that you just used, just created.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And how to make a backup. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How to make a backup, and well, that's basically that.
You guys learn how to access your cPanel, make a
Yeah.
backup, how to install WordPress, how to actually look up
Yeah.
your name servers to see if your name servers are pointing to your account. See those little details. Even I don't want to cook this too quickly for you guys, but I want you guys to keep those little details in mind because those are the ones that are going to save you a lot of time. In this course, you're going to reference back to a lot of these little details as we go along because I want to make this course in the same manner that we learn. A lot of times we try to teach in a way that is theoretical and book, and through the book, but for the most part, what I want to concentrate is on giving you guys a more hands-on experience because at the end of the day, you'll learn far more and you'll be able to actually do something with this. Now, if you guys have accounts on your own, I would just kind of practice installing this WordPress, or uninstalling it, just messing with it, accessing your accounts through cPanel the way that I taught you, just so you know, not necessarily because I want you to do that, but because I want you to know it and be able to reference back to it.
Yeah. There's like a practice and like a homework. It's very good, and I can tell you that before this class, in my mind, talking about WordPress, I was like cross, I said, no, I don't want to hear anything about that. But now I want to go and search what they have done. Yeah.
So, and actually, that's a good testament because that's the point. I want people to be able to say, I didn't know that it could be possible to do something, so cool with this kind of platform. But you guys have invested 2 hours already in getting to know a few things. But I'm pretty confident in these 2 hours, you guys are very solid on either one of them. And that's going to be the point every single time. But at the end of the course, even though it's only 10 hours, it's going to be 10 quality hours. It's not going to be hours where we're going to spend talking about all these theories and junk that you'll never use. I want to get to the meat of it, okay? Do you guys have any questions for today's lesson?
No, sir.
No, I am okay. I am just in a hurry to to practice with the WordPress interface and see what they have done because I really touched it something like 15 years ago, and then I recognize that interface, that the old interface that you were using at the beginning, and it was the one that I was using at that time, but this is very old. The interface, and it was when it was fantastic. It was the one that the installing it was through Fantastico, and it was so buggy. It was having many problems, and if you wanted to do, for example, the white screen, it was impossible, and many things,
Absolutely.
And then I said, no. I am going to try to get into a culture or a semantic of a culture, and I don't like it, then I quit it. But now I need to check.
Thank you guys today for joining and for being a part of this lesson. And I want to thank every single viewer today that is going to you just go through this course either through our YouTube videos or our Facebook videos. We hope that you will learn, how to actually, build things through WordPress. And not only that, but if you do choose to apply for a web hosting position at a major web hosting company, I think you'll be able to fly through the interview. So we'll see you guys in the next lesson, which is coming up pretty soon. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining.
You please take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
By the way, at the end of the course, when I'm talking like that, is because I'm also filming it. So I'm just like leading out of the whole